because we usually never get reposts. So that was pretty good. Um, I've been working on a video I did last week, which wasn't posted because I still wanted to change up a few captions. And this morning I just had a meeting with the marketing team, and we're gonna be working on those new features, starting with the new chat feature because that's the first one coming out. So that's pretty much what I have going on for this week.
Nice work.
Thanks, Laura. Yeah, the quality of the videos have gone like substantially way higher what it used to be. Looks very professional.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Right. Next up, Pablo.
Good morning. Had a very early but good meeting today with Shawarma. Great call for Eric, who set that up, came prepared, aligned resources, the even presented pricing and as well as kind of like a roadmap of how they would solve their problem. And I think he took a great liking to that. The next step is to have a meeting either this week or the next. So we're going to align on a particular date, but it's to connect with the chief decision makers, those being both Jill, the person we're talking with, the CMO, and the CEO, and they apparently are brothers. And there's a great plan of attack to kind of circulate that. The only real hurdle, I think, at this point is not price or anything, but rather if we, how we answer the question around how will we be able to determine behavior for the Saudi market, which is so apparently difficult to detect and see signals. As even with the data, if they share that with us. So that's going to be really telling, but I'm excited for what Sabo will put on the table there. Also have a meeting later on today with Aaron. I suspect we're going to be closing that today. That's the
How much
stake.
is Aaron? How much is Aaron paying?
Aaron is $150, I believe, per month, per seat. It's one of the first accounts that we pitched the new pricing. And she's starting some sort of like steak startup, food startup. And then supporting and helping and really leaning into creating assets for the new feature, chiefly right now being the chatbot. That's the highest priority. So I have a meeting tomorrow with Lara to kind of get that executed. And then also working on the version 2, which I've shared in the product channel for the chatbot. I'd love to kind of get input or feedback from the technical team on their ideas around that.
All right. Anything else, Pablo?
No, that's it.
All right.
I'm doing outreach. I'm targeting now people that are outside of my bubble to see how it resonates. Leveraging Apollo, sent out, 18 emails this morning. Gonna send a lot more later today.
Right. Next up, Roberto.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. We had a
usual call on 9 a.m. with Avi and Monica. I think a realistic goal for this week, as we're jumping into our VC search, our VC list, would be to reach out to a good 30 of them. That's a goal for the week. For that, we're planning a few sessions with Avi to reach out to them. It's VC, so it's not necessarily the traditional application form. It might be more direct contact. So it's truly seeing who do we have wearing all that. And yeah, Avi will surely update later, but he updated a bunch of information and pitch deck as well. So now that is all set, it's about scheduling these sessions and moving forward with the LinkedIn outreach. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the focus as we're going into this week.
Yeah, thank you for your help with that this morning, Roberto. We also applied for about $100,000 in kind of various different tooling. I was messaging on the general channel, so maybe we'll get some of those. I don't know that we're using a lot of like AI powered dev tools, but maybe there's some we can incorporate or test. Thank you for your help there.
Righty. Tatvik.
So, later Friday, I pushed everything I meant to in Void Camp. Today, I didn't see any issues or anything on the production side with the new experiments. I haven't checked yet, so I'm checking that right now. If that goes smoothly, I was thinking, I know we mentioned the replacing the cluster analysis, so maybe this week and next week will be the best time to do that, so I can focus on that calculations instead, I was thinking.
Just to give you an update, Tatvik, Mari is sitting with Duplo Cloud. There is some weird error happening, so none of the endpoints in dev are working. It's the deployment issue. Once that gets fixed, I think we are pretty much good in the dev. We also made quite a few changes today in the backend. Hardy will give his update, but I think we are almost done, finished fixing the experiment card as well. Maybe tomorrow late afternoon we can start our time. Otherwise, Wednesday for sure we can start with the latent variable remaining part. Thanks, Tatvik. Eric.
Yes. Please. Hello, everyone. Why does this keep going? Sorry. Apologize. Oh, allow. Hey, everyone. Hope you're all well. Pablo said we had a meeting this morning with Shawarma. And he is all about really championing us. He wants this to work. So I'm going to set up another meeting very shortly, maybe as early as Thursday, with his CEO, CMO, the rest of the team. And as I said before, they are pre-IPO. They are sitting with a ton of cash and about to explode internationally and domestically. So we are in a good position. I think we could ride that for a lot more than the 24,500 that I've proposed. So thanks to Subodh and to Pablo, especially Pablo, who's in Chicago, getting up, being on the meeting at 8 a.m. Let's see. I have set up a meeting. I had a social event, and the CEO of a company called SAIE was there. And as a good salesperson, I pitched her. And she has set us up with her entire team for Friday, August 1st. And the thing is, talking about her, right? So Say Beauty, 100 million in revenue. They're the real deal. They're just exploding with growth. I started to explain it, right? And, I'm not a marketer, right? So, I know what I'm talking about in limit. She's like, oh my God, you guys work on the say do gap? I'm like, yeah, we work. And she was it's like, how do you know about that? She's like, oh my God, that has been one of our biggest problems. So she came back to me with like, we've been having behavior. We don't know how to focus this. The fact that she's in the United States is really important because teaching things in Saudi, we uncovered more, a couple of blockers, but I don't want to bring it up here. So that's exciting. So that meeting is set for Friday, August 1st with her team. And I just got from the Sunshine Sachs group, which I thought was, sort of dead. We met with the CEO, had a presentation. He, as the CEO, he really wasn't the person. They're integrated marketing. They have celebrities, corporations that they have their hand in. They're in a ton of stuff. And they just responded. They want to set up a meeting as soon as possible with their whole Insight team. So there you go. And, I have calls into like McDonald's. I already sent out the dates, but it seems to be vacation time in Saudi as well because of the heat. Will to go away. So I'm a little frustrated about that because, it's not on my time, but I need it to be, right? So that's it. Just continuing my outreach, continuing to set up meetings, learn as much as I can. Michelle and I had a quick conversation on Sunday, and she did some work and she was asking some insights, and which really helped me with the shawarma. So I was really grateful for that. And I think everything else is just, I'll let you all know when I keep getting those meetings. But thanks, team.
Eric, do we have any visibility into Priceline or the Workwear group?
Define visibility. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
I had a meeting scheduled or any next steps with either of them?
Well, that would be Pablo. I have no. I've had no touching. I haven't touched those accounts. Those aren't anything to do with me.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we could retouch
Visit
those
those?
guys. Yeah.
I want to retouch Iser at some point. I want to retouch Millipore. I want to, learned a lot since that first meeting in April. We've evolved. We're not the same. We're not the same focus. And so once we get a couple of use cases, I want to bring it to those individuals and return.
No.
But if you have a different strategy, I'd love to hear about it.
Well, I want to. Well, I don't have a different strategy. It's just. I think I don't know. Not for stand up, but yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about it on the side. But yeah, just ping me, as the kids say. We'll chat. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Eric. Hadi.
Hello everyone, happy Monday. So yeah, I fixed an issue with the feature level importance chart, and we're supposed like almost done with the experiments page that has issue with newly running experiment, and also I'm almost done with the Y step, which there needs some updates, recording causality check.
Can we have a bias to pushing to production as soon as possible? Because when we have right now we have a 3-month gap between dev and test or dev and prod, and when we have that 3-month gap, then every change if we make a hot fix to prod, which we end up needing to do a lot, we have to end up making changes in 2 places, and it effectively doubles our development time. Having such a big gap between dev and prod, it increases development cycles, increases support cycles, increases DevOps, effort. It's a lot. It's a lot. And even if we have some small bugs in dev, it's better than the small bugs in prod with effectively two different applications.
Yeah, we are just working to release to prod,
Yeah.
fixing issues in dev.
Got it. And then Tatavik, before we do any of the like additional math to do additional clustering, could we do a simple like first pass of simply surfacing the latent variables without doing any sort of fancy, clustering? Just expose the AMCEs per latent variable as a first pass. Maybe using the existing graph code that we have.
Part is already added both to the dashboard and the calculations, but I have one issue. Even like before I went to vacation, I haven't tested in dev, so I need to see these results like on dev, not only my locally, in case there are some issues. I'm sure there aren't, but just in case. Otherwise, it's done. There is like one additional tab with latent variable AMC graph.
Beautiful. We have to remember, if we do have an additional tab, because of the way the chat agent is built, we'll have to make some small changes to the chat agent, because we're like literally going through like clicking on tabs, and if we move the size of the tab, the numbers of tab, whatever, then that gets all wonky. But it should be trivial. Okay, nice work, Tatavik.
Monica?
Oh yeah, so hi everyone. Happy Monday. So this morning, as Roberto said, we've met with Abby and to finalize the pitch deck. And also we want to schedule the meeting for our next step, which is to finish updating the VC list and to find the corresponding contact person and to send the first message to them. So yeah, that's what we will do for this week.
Alrighty. Who got left? Michelle, I think so.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So this week, my main focus early in the week is really serving current clients. Really need to, get some pretty big work plans, under control for them. Part of that will be working to tie subconscious experiments with Lyft in their campaigns. And so I did a couple of experiments on Friday and, discovered there's one particular thing that, the importance of rate disclosure in marketing materials for credit unions, that seems to be a big focus that they're not using at all in their campaigns. So there is a little bit of work as far as like coordinating with them to convince them to try that kind of strategy out. And so I have to work on that this week. But yeah, excited to kind of see this, like playing out in a real life case study. As a part of that, I also developed a 10-step process to optimize marketing campaigns. And so I think that that's something that I sent Pablo and Eric to try to, just kind of give some, I guess it could be an FAQ answer to an FAQ question, as far as if prospects wonder, like, how does this work? How does your process work? So that's like my process that I would use as a marketer, in helping them to optimize their marketing using Subconscious. So, and then as far as sales goes, this week, as soon as I get like the main client work kind of under control, I'm kind of looking at testing out new pricing tiers, similar to what Pablo's doing as well, but kind of having like a 3-tier package that has like more of a DIY option, and then like a guided experience, and then the enterprise like full, service thing as well, offering as well. So I've got some, as far as like prospects go, I've got a number of old ones that I need to reach out to and follow up with. I think I'm going to follow up with them with this new pricing tier package and just kind of see who bites on which level and see how that goes. Still working to get the meeting set up with the retail group to do a demo for the retail group, but I'll be working on that. I've got a contact with someone who actually has a company, and her company serves CPG brands. And so I'm going to reach out to her and see if I can't, get a connection with her and potentially get some referrals. As far as blockers go, I have, let's see, I'd like to get an update from Subodh on the B2B test for Goodwill. That would be really helpful. I know you've been working on that, so I appreciate that. So just getting an update. I do have a client meeting on Wednesday, so just need to make sure that I, get the information I need by then to be able to lay out my research plan for them. And then the concept testing, just FYI, I put it in the bug channel, but I did run a concept test in the dev environment, and it actually returned to me like a completely different experiment as the result, which is really weird. I was like, "Whoa, what is this? Like, this is nothing like what I typed in here." But it's not a big problem for me. Like, I knew I was in dev. I was not doing it. Well, I was kind of doing it for a client, actually, just to see like what I could get out of the concept testing, because they have an ad that I really want to try to improve upon. So I'd love to have that option, that concept testing option for this particular client. But, I just wanted to bring it to your attention that, it clearly was not working. I wouldn't want it to be pushed to prod, if it's going to do that kind of thing. So, but I think, one thing to think about is that, in these kind of consulting advisory type roles, like I could potentially, if dev is working properly, I could as a consultant, work in dev and get some results that I could pull out for clients, even if it's not in pro. But again, it just has to be working properly. So yeah. So just FYI.
Michelle, for the A/B test for the credit union on the exposing the rates, are we using any sort? Would you like help setting up any sort of A/B tests? Doing monitoring of different campaigns, whether it's, I don't know, whatever you end up using, Amplitude or, there's like a bunch of different products that will do those A/B tests. Is that something you need help with?
I think that the A/B test can probably be handled as part of the work that they're doing. Like, I'm introducing those kinds of concepts to them, and planning to propose it this week. So it's just a matter of like me working out the details of, how we'll do that. Do have a marketer there that, I could direct, on how to do it. So, I would say that.
Are we testing like Facebook campaigns, Google ads? Like, where are they changing this copy in their workflow?
Yeah, email, I think, is their primary outreach, to do it by email, and then also direct mail. So, direct mail and email right now. But I am actually directing like changes to their marketing strategies. So I may introduce other, ways to market, this particular campaign, which could be some ads for a test. But I'm still like figuring it out, working through their budget and stuff like that.
Yeah, that might be the lowest cost way to test. I've seen companies that like they do the cheap tests online and then they promote those to whatever, email in person. I'm happy to introduce you to Jeremy Seltzer, who is a buddy of mine. He's the CRO at a place called Movable Ink. They do a lot of that. We have a bunch of credits at like Optimizely. I don't know if you're interested in that. StatSig also does that, which I know Subodh has experience with.
Yeah, love an introduction. I mean, I'm always open to like trying new resources. Like I have ways to be able to test things, just probably with the software that they're already using. But I'm still analyzing it to see exactly what its capabilities are. But yeah, love any introductions or, ideas for others, products to use. And there was something else I was going to share. Yeah, I think that's probably it for now. So. Oh, yeah, I remember what it was. So I did talk with you, Avi, about, potentially getting some help with experiments. And also I met with Ishika per your suggestion, to talk about, maybe how she could potentially help with this. And so I'm really interested in, I'm going to set up another meeting with her to really talk about where the whole behavioral science can be brought into what I'm doing. I think that like Subconscious at its core addresses behavioral science issues. And so I'm looking to learn from her about, maybe where there's more depth, in what I could offer, based on like people like her and her expertise. So, in addition to helping with running experiments, just trying to see where we can like really dig deeper with this whole thing.
Nice.
So that's all I've got.
Thanks, Michelle. Avi, you're next.
Today we finished this week. Today and this weekend we finished most of the fundraising kind of prep work. I also was doing a lot of the HR stuff for the recruiting. I'm having 3 meetings this week in New York City with a bunch of people who want to help with like sales and marketing. There's also I think 4 or 5 different applicants that finished the case study this weekend. Subodh and Madi, I would love for you guys to like interview them for like the final round, and then we can decide what we want to do with them. Some of the case studies that were submitted were pretty good, particularly Ben's. What else? Yeah, those are my big initiatives. And then offers, ideally offers to go out Friday for everybody, both on the sales side and on the front end engineering side. And then I have an onboarding this week of somebody for DevOps. Madi, I'll need your help for that as well. I was supposed to schedule that. I didn't schedule that.
Yep, Mal is not here, but I think it's Nalini, right?
Yeah, Nalini, sorry.
Okay, so here's the new update. Today we ran some experiments, one time with Azure endpoints and one time with Databricks. I think because we are on a credit system, we get routed differently in the priority queue, because sometimes the same, we tried with different batch sizes. 200 was never going to sustain. I think Mali didn't pay much attention in the beginning. He just ran. I think there's too many internal failure happens, probably resource error, and it takes way too much time. The best we could do is again stick to 20 batches, not more than that. Anything more than that, and the time is actually starts to go up per minute task. Even within
where
20.
Is this? Which endpoint?
Just Databricks endpoint when you call survey task with 20 batch size. Now within that, we see that 3 or 4 batches will happen like within 5 seconds. So 20 tasks gets done in 5 seconds. And then you will have batches where the same 20 takes minute and a half. So basically we are getting rerouted differently. That's the problem. That means we can never guarantee you, Avi, that it will happen in 2 minutes. It's just beyond our control until we have, I guess, a dedicated enterprise LLM endpoint link. If we have, then that actually will mean that even after all the things we are doing will be done in 5 minutes. Otherwise, it just left to the LLM routing gods on what time it takes. That's the big issue we have. And we added some more stuff so that so this is what we did. So even when you pass 20, Databricks will always return you answer for all the 20. It will never give you any kind of parsing error. But the Azure endpoints, even though it's O3 mini, the more bigger model, it still can give you. What we saw that on an average, when we're doing with 500 LLM requests, like 500 tasks, on and around 100, 110 will get parse error. So basically we have added another layer of retry. So then only you go and do the ones which failed. So which basically will ensure that we never we never get down on the sample size. But in terms of time, we cannot guarantee anything. And on an average, both the Databricks endpoint and the Azure endpoint takes about same time. So when we run with 100 people answering 5 questions, 2 attribute, Databricks on an average takes 7.5 minutes. Same with Azure, around 8.5 minutes, give or take. So it all boils down to the quality of the endpoint. There's not much we could do now in the backend. Then on the experiment card, the direct webhook was just not happening. Some part of the code we did not understood, so we don't know what to do with that. So we basically created a new way of doing it. And now that we have got an issue in the dev backend, which Matt is fixing with Duplo Cloud, we keep getting this 504 error for no reason. So once that gets fixed, Hardy has implemented his changes based on the new endpoints. Then we just have to do a test. It works. We can push to prod with the current status.
And that's at the 7 minutes. Should we schedule another meeting with the Databricks guys?
Duplo.
Casey and what's his name?
I think I know those email chain. Joaquin was managing those earlier. Yeah,
No,
we
he
can
wasn't.
ask.
It was not being managed.
And because Mari did open up Databricks and it doesn't show any information about rate limit or anything about the current endpoint.
Right. I'll schedule a meeting with them. Make sure we're using the right endpoint. Maybe there's a bunch of different endpoints in there. I don't know why. Only one of them has been kind of augmented.
Mm-hmm.
I'll schedule that meeting. Separately, the AWS team is pushing us to move to the AWS, to use the AWS credits. I don't know if the AWS endpoints will be any different. The AWS team is assuring me that it's, full production status, 15 million TPM. I will believe it when I see it. It's probably they're probably only guaranteeing that TPM on like open models, probably not third-party models because they can't. I also submitted this morning with Roberto for additional credits from Claude or from Anthropic and OpenAI. We'll see if we receive them. Oh yeah, I'll schedule the meeting. Schedule a meeting with Databricks. What about the speed of the Perplexity real world product search?
That thing, it works, but it's a very big function. I haven't looked into. I need to look. We need to break that down. It takes way too much time. And then more often than not, it fails in the last point. There are some validation in terms of how the attribute should be formatted. And if any one of the attribute fails, the whole thing fails. That's how Folian coded at that time. so we need to do some massaging there. If we spend like a minute and a half, might as well take those in outputs rather than throw them away.
Right.
If worst case scenario, I'll look into that maybe in couple of days once these other things are sorted.
Okay. Yeah, ideally, if we could have like a simple version of it that gets done in 10 seconds, that's just a one-time call. You know, we don't need the, you know, like for every single one of these functions, we should have a naive version that's done within seconds, that we use as a fallback, and we should get that working perfectly before we work on the kind of advanced version. But that's for the future. So okay, so the ETA on releasing dev to prod, we think, is Friday.
If Duplo Cloud fixes today, we can push it tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, we are literally waiting for them. The issue, the 504 issue is Madi said it used to happen, but it used to go away on its own within 4 minutes. Today it has persisted for more than 2.5 hours. So
I got an email. I got an email this morning saying that there was a DNS collision.
Madi is sitting with them as we speak. So hopefully he fixes, then Hardy can test his current new logic. And then we can push it.
Beautiful. I will email you what I received. I'll email you that right now. I meant to email you this morning. Did things get funky around 1:00 a.m. Eastern time this morning?
Not 1 o'clock a.m. Eastern, so should be maybe. Well, I think it was 1 o'clock our time, so must be 6 hours back. So maybe 7 o'clock probably Eastern. We did some changes. We pushed Marty built the image and deployed, and then everything got approved.
Okay. I feel a little bit uneasy using the Duplo Cloud DNS manager. Like, I don't know why we're using their DNS manager in ours, because it's whatever. I don't even know if that's the issue, but it feels weird. I just emailed you something.
No idea what DNS is. It's all alien to me. So whatever Marty says, I'll take it.
Where's the new guy? The new guy cannot come here fast enough. I'll email her after this as well.
So I think that is it.
Do you want to do demos?
I don't have any demo. Anyone got a demo?
I can do some demos. Hold on, let me do some case studies. Can I demo the case studies that were submitted by the team?
Sure.
Do we have Hadi? I want Hadi to see it. Yeah, we have Hadi. Okay, sweet. I want to get Hadi's blessing. Who was the one last week? There was someone last week that sent a case study as well. Sweeta. Hold on 1 second. There's one more. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, and then the case. This is the case study that we sent people. We're also sending case studies for the marketing and sales folks who are starting. Everything that we're doing is we're trying to focus on sales automation. We're trying to like mature our sales efforts. So it's like, you know, are we using HubSpot? Are we using drip campaigns? Are we using, you know, analytics? Like all of the like the basics. We're trying to make sure that they are competent in like in sales ops. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Oh wait, hold on. Why can't I do this? Here we go. Share. Screen. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So this is the case study. We asked them to do like a prompt explorer. So like you choose a product, you choose a business objective, you choose a segment, and then run the LLM prompts on the segment. This is effectively like the how would I describe it? This is effectively the naive version of Subconscious. It's the simplest possible version of Subconscious. So this is one submission that we got. Oh, let me actually send these to everyone so that we can all play along at home. Hold on one second. Okay, beautiful. So this is one, right? So you select a product. I'm going to pick coffee. I'm going to increase awareness. Awareness, consideration, purchase. See, that's about, that's your influence there. You can add a custom objective, right? Improve retention, right? So you can kind of set your objectives here. You have the product, the objective, and then you can pick a segment. And then what it does is it runs a handful of effectively like marketing and sales and advertising prompts against, you know, maximize this objective for this product on this segment. So the kind of the what and the why and the who, and then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just like ours. Let's see the reports. Let's see. They use Clerk, which is nice. This is all. This is new. Oh, this is cool, actually. Okay, so you have the organization, you have members of the organization, so it looks like it's multi-tenant right out of the gate, which is pretty cool. I don't know why it's not working here exactly. Let's see. Am I in here? Okay, this is a little funky. It's a little. Let's try that one more time. Maybe it's using a Docker instance. Okay, well, you get the idea. This one's not working. All right, we'll check the other one. This one, Gen Z creators, urban climate advocates. I really can't see this on the left here. So you have all the different things here, all the different objectives. You have the segments, and then you can generate some insight. Or not. This worked the other day. Yeah, so far these case studies are not impressive. Okay, lastly, we'll check this guy out. All right, here's a chat. You can do a chat, right? Do a bunch of analysis, settings, general, team. Well, that's kind of nice. He's also got multi-tenant, works out of the box. Let's see if this works. Okay, new analysis. Select a product. Coffee. Increase awareness on Gen Z creators. There we go. Charts. Detailed network. Personas, interactions. Wow. Okay, cool. How does this feel, guys?
I mean, UI is good.
He's good, yeah. We like this guy, huh?
Good.
Good. All right. Excellent.
Does the persona and other information came just by their own, or they do they allow users to select the personas, or
No, this
they
is
just generate
they generate the
by
personas.
themselves?
Yeah. 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 Cool. All right, guys. That is my demo. There's 3 or 4 more that I can't find right now, but I don't want to take everyone's time. But that's the type of stuff that's coming in. Subodh and Mahdi, I'm going to ask you guys to do final rounds with these guys, if that's okay, or next rounds.
Super cool.
Yeah, and then I have like 10 more first round interviews this week, which means we'll probably end up with like 2 more case studies. Oh, Casey just emailed me from Databricks saying let's talk about our capacity limit issues this week if we're available to meet next Thursday in person. So I'm going to go down to the Databricks office and I'll pound the table for us.
Okay. All right, I think we're good.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks, everyone. Happy Monday.
Bye.